all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach U'Malak Yahweh Shai. Perpetually and perpetually. Alright? So we back with another lesson through the Spirit. Alright, start that thing up, brother. I'll hit the light. Hit the light. Hit the light. God. Right, so all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach U'Malak Yahweh Shai. We back with another Sabbath service through the Spirit and power of the Lord, man. And the word must go out within these last days. Right, so the topic of this lesson is finances. That's the milk lesson, finances. How to deal with finances, not spending up that substance, and operating in the spirit of wisdom when you're dealing with your money. All right? So this is all for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Give me Ephesians chapter 4, verse 12. Give me the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 12.
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 12.
Right.
For the perfecting of the saints.
This is for the perfection of the saints, and the saints are Israel. This is to perfect brothers so they know how to deal within their day-to-day life. How to deal with money, dealing with finances, bills, and operating in the spirit of wisdom. So you're not jammed up and caught in an unfortunate situation. Keep reading.
For the work of the ministry.
For the what?
For the work of the ministry.
For the work of the ministry. So everything is about work. Right? As men of the Lord, of course, we're supposed to be working, providing for our households, or at least seeking some kind of employment to provide for your household. Scripture says if you don't provide for your household, you're an infidel and you have denied the faith. Keep reading.
For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
So this is all for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Now give me Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12.
Right.
For wisdom is a defense.
They say wisdom is the defense. Right. The fear of the Lord. That's what wisdom is. Give me Job 28 and 28. Right. Let's precept that up. The Lord said wisdom is the defense. This is what keeps you defended from your enemies, wicked men, spirits, demons, temptations. That wisdom is going to protect you. Keep reading.
The book of Job, chapter 28, verse 28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom.
The what?
That is wisdom.
They say the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. All men have not the fear of the Lord. They have fear of man, right? They have fear of stars, trees, tangible things, but they don't fear the Lord. But when you fear the Lord, that brings about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And wisdom coming from the Most High. Precept that up with Sirach chapter 1 and verse 4. So you must have wisdom when you're dealing with your finances, when you're dealing with your household, when you're dealing with your brothers, when you're out there teaching on the highways and byways. Everything is filtered through what? Wisdom. All right, bring it out.
The book of Sirach chapter 1 and verse 4. Wisdom have been created before all things.
They say wisdom have been created before all things. Read on.
And the understanding of prudence from everlasting.
And the understanding of prudence for everlasting. Read on.
For the word of the God Most High is the fountain of wisdom.
Is the what?
Fountain of wisdom.
Is the fountain of wisdom. And you got to have wisdom when you're dealing with your finances. If you're down to your last $100, you shouldn't go to the store and spend $100. That's not wisdom, man. Because you're not going to have nothing left over for yourself. Right? So even when dealing with finances, dealing with money, you have to have wisdom to know how to build and to know how to operate with these things. And go back to Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Right?
It's the book.
Hey, Jake is horrible with finances, man. Jake kind of splurge. Right? We all have done it before. Don't fool yourself. You had money and you splurged. Now you're broke. We all have done it, but that's why this is a building process. This is about growth. That's why we do these lessons so brothers can get better with their finances and be more mindful of their money. And go back to Ecclesiastes 7 and 12.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense.
So again, wisdom is going to defend you. It defended Lot in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 6. It say wisdom delivered him. Keep reading.
And money is a defense.
And what?
And money is a defense.
Now let me say this. We don't love money, but we understand that we have to have money to be able to operate in this society. If you don't have money, then guess what? You're going to be homeless, right? You're not going to be able to take care of your family, your children. They're starving right there in your face, and you can't provide for them. Hey, the Lord is displeased with a man like that. You got to be a worker in this thing, right? You might got to work damn two jobs in this thing. Night shift. Waking up at the crack of dawn in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, kind of getting dressed, getting prepared to go on that damn plantation and sweat for 12 hours. Hey, you got to do that. That's in Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. That's the condition of the battle. Matter of fact, bring that out, Genesis 3:19. That was a curse upon man. For being disobedient, eating of their fruit, the Lord said, guess what? Man has to work from the day to the day he begins to work to the day he dies. Bring that out, King.
Book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 19.
Right.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
See that? So this is the judgment upon man. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. Here it is, you in the damn iron furnace, sweating, lifting up heavy things. You got the overseers over you telling you, do this, do that. And they yelling at you. And they looking down upon you. And they keep watching their clock. Right? You got a damn 10-minute break. Keep reading.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. Read on.
Till thou return unto the ground.
Till thou return unto the ground. Read on.
For out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
You see that? And you got elders still working, man. You see the elders at Walmart. They kind of moving slow. They back hunched over. They damn near to their deathbed, and they still got to work. That's the judgment upon man. Right? So in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. But nonetheless, we have to do these things to provide for our family and to provide for yourself. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Nobody is going to take care of you. You're a man. All right? You're not a kid anymore. Right? Your parents not coming in the house bringing in food for you. Right? Telling you to clean up, telling you to do that. No, your parents, look, they ain't over you no more, man. Right? You got to provide for yourself now. All right, bring it out.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Right, so money is a defense. So we don't love money, but we understand that we have to have it to be able to survive in this society. All right? So money is a defense. Money keeps you defended from certain things. It keeps you defended from poverty, homelessness, all right? Starvation, nakedness. It keeps you away from these things because when you got money, you can go buy apparel. When you have money, you can go buy food. When you have money, you can provide for your family, take them on trips, do something nice for your family. So with that, I'll yield.
You can get 1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Right, when you're a kid, you get a little bit of money. What do? When you're a kid, do you save up your money in a big old piggy bank? Like, you kind of just splurge and you spend it all. You lose your mind. Right, when I was a kid and I had $10, guess where that money went? Snacks. Mm-hmm. Maybe a game. A whole bunch of junk. A whole bunch of BS. Bullshit, pretty much. However, when you grow up in this thing, right, even in the world when you grow up, you realize your money can't go to folly anymore, all right? Not to say you can't have, you can't do this, you finance yourself with a good day, but there's a job of balance, right? You have to understand your paycheck. It can't go all towards, damn, 2K games, to the stock market, buying Jordans. It can't go to that. It has to go and be allocated to other things, right? That you need for your life to survive in this land, right? Whether it be bills, car payments, insurance, dentist bills, whatever the case is, you know what you need, Israel. Don't neglect yourself. Don't neglect the family. All right? Money is a defense. When you have no money, you have no defense. Right? You're as a city without walls.
Con.
Yeah, the precept.
I have some precepts. All right, because this is a beautiful topic, man, that Israel don't really go into, man. You got to have your finances together, because that's how to operate as a man. Right, because this word is, give me 1 Kings 2:2. Right, because these scriptures, it teach you how to be a man. Teach you how to be a husband, a father, a brother, sister, a mother, a wife, right, a child. Bring that up.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Right.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore,
Right.
and show thyself a man.
And do what?
Show thyself a man.
All right, so you got to show yourself a man in this thing. All right, get Sirach 29 and verse 21.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing, and an house to cover shame.
Right, it didn't say the chief thing in life is having 8 cars, man. Right, it said, hey, it's just having, a house, food, water, and clothing. That's the chief thing that a man needs in life. And who's going to sustain that for you? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right, keep reading on that.
Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
So it's basically better to be in a studio apartment, right, other than in a mansion with somebody else, man.
Right.
That's off because it's going to actually explain it further. You got a point.
Con. Yeah, mean cottage. Hey, the hood, the ghetto, roaches crawling everywhere, mice. But guess what? The Lord said that's better than to live in those conditions than to live with another man. That's deep right there, man.
Right? So keep reading that. It's more than that.
Be it little or much, hold thee contented, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house.
Right, read.
For it is a miserable life to go from house to house.
Right, it's miserable to go to house because they can just kick you out anytime. Right, you're trying to keep the commandments. They cooking pork bacon. Right, you got to deal with it because you're in another man's house under their household rules. Right, read.
For thou art a stranger, and thou darest not open thy mouth.
Right, so you can't open your mouth in another man's house, man. Kind of say, hey, you shouldn't be cooking pork. Well, hold on, you shouldn't be in my house, man. So it's good to, have these things that you need, and the Lord will sustain that for you.
Salaki, and that person in the house is not all for telling you that, because it's their house. It's their house, it's their rules, it's their regulations, right? And you got to kind of abide by it if you're in their house.
You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. I got another precept. Sirach 11 and 14. Then I got
a precept.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
Right, so all those things come of the Lord. And again, the Lord will give you all the chief things you need. But if he desired to give you more than that, then he will. Like he did Solomon. He prayed for wisdom, but he got all the riches. Right, I got another precept real quick. It's Sirach 31 and 1.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 1.
Right.
Watching for the riches consumeth the flesh.
Right.
And the care thereof driveth away sleep.
You see that? So you're trying to just get rich all day long. You're going to be up to 9 in the morning, kind of on Forex, your eyes bleeding. You're looking at the Forex screen. Right? Like, come on, brother. Like, just chill out for a second, man. Right? That's them people there on the slot machines all day long, doing like this, going the hell off. Right, read on.
Watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep.
Right, read on.
The rich have great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with his delicates.
Read.
The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy.
Read.
He that loveth gold shall not be justified.
Right, and that's Esau, man. Eliphaz, my God is fine gold. That's what he named his son. Right, so you can't love money, but money is a defense. It's something that we actually need in this society, literally, man, or you can't make it. But again, what do you need? Water, food, shelter, and a house, man. That's it. That's all you need. And the Lord will sustain you if you're keeping the commandments in the faith. Right, finish that verse out.
And he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof.
Right, he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof. I just got one more. Right, it's 1 Kings 17 and 8.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 8.
Right.
And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee.
Right, so the Most High, He has set up a widow woman. He has set up a heathen. He has set up anything He wants to sustain His elect, man. So you got to worry about it, man. You might be in a damn FEMA camp, somehow escape and end up in an underground bunker, man, with food for 30 years. And you just good for you don't know, man. But you got to have the faith in the Lord. Right, with that, I yield.
That's right. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 18, verse 25. So the brother brought out some mighty points. Hey, you got to trust in the Lord ultimately. Give me Sirach, chapter 11, verse 21 first. Sirach, chapter 11, verse 21.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners.
You can't be marveling at the works of sinners. You're going on Instagram. You're looking at everybody with the cars and the jewelry and the clothes. Now you're covetous. Now you want that. Read on.
But trust in Yahweh and abide in thy labor.
And do what?
Trust in Yahweh and abide in thy labor.
It say abide in thy labor. Not abide on the couch. Abide in the bed. Right? You're kind of waking up at damn 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, brother, what was you doing, man? You got to be up. You got to be ready and prepared to work. Right? And again, some brothers may not have jobs, but you should be on, it's different outlets out here, Indeed.com. Hey, they hiring damn near everywhere now, man. Right? There's really no excuse. But keep reading.
For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
To make a poor man rich. So the Lord can easily make a poor man rich. Right? You was poor, you was in poverty, you didn't have no food, you didn't have no clothes. But if you trusted in the Most High can send you a mighty job. Now you work and now you're able to take care of your family and yourself.
Right.
And give me Sirach chapter 18, verse 25.
Book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 25. When thou hast enough.
When thou hast enough, meaning when you have money, read on.
Remember the time of hunger.
You got to remember the time of hunger. You got to remember the times in which you didn't have it. And you got to stay humble. Right? Because you get that money, you kind of splurge, you go all out, man. You buy about 5 cars, 100 pair of shoes, 20 hoodies. Right, 50 pairs of jeans. Now you broke, brother, because you didn't remember the time of hunger. Keep reading. And say, yeah, keep reading. Look on that sword.
Think upon poverty and need from the morning until the evening.
The time. Read it again from the top.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 25.
Right.
When thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger.
So you got to remember that. You got to keep yourself in that mindset. Right? Like, I got money, but I'm not just going to spend it because I got it. So you got to remember the time of hunger. Read on.
And when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need.
And when you rich, when you have a over amount of wealth and abundance, you got to still think upon poverty and need. That's going to keep you humble. That's going to keep your priorities in check. You got to say, well, look, I remember the time where I didn't have it. So just because I have it now, I'm not going to splurge and spend it all. Because I don't want to go back to poverty and need. Now go back to, go to verse 30.
Verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Sometimes you got to refrain yourself from your appetites. You can have a wardrobe demon on you. Right? You can't stop buying clothes. The brother just can't stop. Here it is, the brother, he going through it. The brother got no food in his refrigerator. His woman is starving. His baby is crying. And he just kind of buying clothes online. He typing up all the different websites he can look on. He trying to seek out the Black Friday deals. I mean, this brother is going off, man. Keep reading.
Verse 30. Go.
So like it say, go. That could be a lust. Right? A wardrobe demon can be a lust on a man. Shoe demon. Right? Food demon. The brother just can't stop buying fast food. Brother, go to the grocery store, man, and pick up some food, man. Hey, you keep buying that food, hey, man, that stuff add up. You spending damn $10 every day. That's $70 in a week. That's a whole bill. All right, keep reading.
Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
And that could be your appetite, right? Coney Island could be your appetite, man. Brother kind of going there every day. Brother, your pockets is going to be thrust through by the end of the week. You spending $20 every day. Right?
That make no sense.
That's what 20 times 7? That's $140, man.
Yeah.
In 1 week.
That's not a good feeling, man.
All right, keep reading.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
Keep reading.
Take not pleasure in much good cheer.
See that? Take not pleasure in much good cheer. Read on.
Neither be tied to the expense thereof.
See, you can't be tied to the expense thereof. Take not much pleasure. You just love yan. You love yan, and you drinking every day, brother. We done had brothers, he buy a pint of Hennessy a day.
Damn.
Now you broken in poverty.
And you're a drunkard.
Yeah, and you're a drunkard. So you can't be tied to those expenses of anything, not clothes. You can't be tied to the expenses of clothes. Of course, you got to have clothes, but you don't want to go all out. You know, keep reading.
Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing.
And you don't want to be a beggar in this thing, because you're going to have an ill name. Right? You're kind of always asking. You're going to have an ill name in Israel. Right? So you got to beware of that. Keep reading.
When thou hast nothing in thy purse, for thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life, and be talked on.
And they kind of talking about you. Right? Like on damn Facebook, you got the damn Hamites. They always in your inbox. Help me, brother. I'm hungry. Right? Shalom.
Tribe of Benjamin.
Shalom.
With 5 M's.
I'm hungry. Right? I need food for the orphans.
For the kids.
Look, man, that's a scam. That is a scam, and you have to know that. But you don't want to be like those men. Always asking and begging and, you know, always in somebody's pocket. You got to have your own in this thing.
Put your hand on my pocket.
Right?
That Salakia, I don't know if brother seen it. It was a story. This Edomite, no, he wasn't Edomite. She was an Israelite woman, not Jake, Eve. She had got caught up with that. Ham was in her inbox trying to get money. She was on Dr. Phil about this because Ham told her that he was Tyler Perry and he was asking for about like $30,000 and she was giving it.
I think I seen something like that.
Yeah.
She's foolish.
Yeah, her mind's not right. She had a sour mind.
That's why you need a man. A lot of women, they don't know how to handle money.
Nah.
They just put it out there like that. Now, they could get mad and say, don't say that.
It's true.
Look, we got to say it, man. Right? It's not all women. Some women are good with finances. Right? But for the most part, they got to go. You know, they hair be like, damn, $200.
Your nails, eyebrows.
Nails be $60.
Hair.
Right?
Brazilian wax.
Yeah. Right, so it's a lot of, you know, trinkets and stuff that they like, and that stuff costs money. You know, but you got to utilize the thrift store, right? And you got to utilize the thrift store sometimes. They be having nice things up in there.
For real.
Hey, real talk.
You get a polo for like $2, man.
Yeah. Yeah, real talk. You can Foreman Mills. You don't have to go to the highest fashion company. Right? This brother damn going to Saks Fifth, Gucci, the real Gucci, and you paying $300 for a belt. Brother, you going off, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody
Unless if
see
you
it.
really got it. You know, I'm not saying brothers
Right.
can't buy that stuff. I'm talking about if you really got it, then, you know, do your thing.
Yeah. If you being an asshole with your money, you know, stop that. If you got it, look, you know, it's gonna be, you know, it's known.
Yeah, it's
right?
known.
It's known.
manifest,
It's
right?
it's made manifest. You know, brothers gotta go to Burlington, man. They got some cheap clothes and they nice.
Burlington.
Yeah, I mess with
Mills.
Burlington, man.
Yep.
Foreman Mills.
Foreman, I don't like that one, but you know,
They be having some fire stuff.
you trying to click that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I just had a bad experience with them.
It's more than that.
Oh, slack here.
Read
Pause that, King.
read verse 33 again.
Verse 33. Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, when thou hast nothing in thy purse.
When thou hast what?
Nothing in thy purse.
When thou hast nothing in thy purse. Read on.
For thou shalt lie in wait for thine own life and be talked on.
So you don't want to be talked on in this thing. Right? So make sure you got your money, got your finances, got everything in order. Right? And if you down bad right now, you may not have money, you may be in poverty. That's when you gotta, first of all, you gotta seek the Lord. You gotta put forth the action behind that. Because you can't just pray to the Lord all day. Don't fill out no application. You go back and lay. You just pray to the Lord and then you go back and lay down all day.
Sleep.
Brother, you're not going to find a job. Right? I'm going to just tell you straight up. Right? You got to put forth action. Faith without works is dead.
Right.
Matter of fact, bring that out. You know what I want.
James. Chapter 2.
It's the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 20. But what thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead.
See that? Faith without works is dead. So you don't want to be a sloth. A sloth is the laziest animal within the animal world. They're slothful. That's where you get the term slothful from, or sluggard. They literally just smooch around all day and lay back and do nothing. That's what the Lord created them to do. Yeah. But you're not a sloth.
Right.
You're a man. Right? According to Genesis 3:19, you got to work in the sweat of thy face. The Lord said, go to the ant, thou sluggard.
That's right.
Matter of fact, bring that out real quick. Con.
I got one for you.
Right? Bring that out. Proverbs 6 and 6.
It's the book of Proverbs, so, chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
Man, go to the ant, thou sluggard. Right? These are the words of Solomon. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Read on.
Consider her ways and be wise.
Right? So the ant is a wise insect on the earth. Read on.
Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler.
Meaning they don't have nobody over them telling them what to do. Read on. So they're independent. Okay, read on.
Provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest.
So you got to provide your meat in the summer and you got to gather your food in the harvest. Right, read on.
How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. Right? Once you really grow in this thing, man, you understand that time is precious, man. Right? You got to have good time management as well. Most High willing, we're going to do a lesson on that. Right? You got to have good time management. Right?
That's right.
It's cool to take naps and stuff like that, but,
Right.
Hey, you want to make sure you get your studying in as well. Right? Or you get home, you might got to go straight to your desk and just study, man. Because if you go straight to the bed, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can go to
Holding
sleep.
of the arms.
Yeah.
I
I close my eyes for 3 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And that 3 minutes turn into 10 hours. Next thing you know, it's time to wake up for work.
Like, oh, man.
Right? So you got to do good with time management as well. So how long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Read on.
Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
Say a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands. Read on.
So shall the poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man.
Right? So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Right? So your poverty is going to come, man. Keep reading.
A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet.
Salaki, that's it on that. So you don't want your poverty to come as one that traveleth, man. Right? Hey, that traveling, man, that's a lot of money. Right? When you traveling, when you going to and fro, hey, your pocket's going to get ate up. Unless you got it, man. Right? You got to pay for transportation to get to and fro to certain places. You got to pay for hotels, pay for all these different things that cost money. So your poverty can come as one that traveleth, and thou want as an armed man. Okay? So,
You can go to Ecclesiastes 5 and 12.
book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 12. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet.
The what?
The sleep of a laboring man is sweet.
Right. Go ahead.
Whether he eat little or much.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know you're working for what? Right? For your family, maybe for yourself. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet. You know? That again, the Lord likes a laboring man. That's Sirach 7:15. All of our forefathers, they were laboring men. Go ahead.
But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
Yeah, and the rich, in this case, on the spiritual level, is none other than Esau. Right? He's the rich man according to the scriptures. Right? Not rich in faith, not rich in wisdom, not rich in knowledge, but rich in money, carnal money. Filthy, nasty green dollar bills. That's what he's rich in.
That's right. Dollar bills.
You see that? You can press play, King. That's mine. Just in case. I got a quick video I was holding. It's turned up. Alright, so this is an interview with Mr. T and this Edomite lady. And she's asking him a question, and he responds very humbly, right? Everybody can learn from this interview, right? This 56-second portion of this interview, he gives a mighty response. You understand? Bear with us. We got some technical difficulties, but while he's getting that, you trying to grab Sirach 40 and 21? It's like your Sirach 40 and 29.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluted himself with other men's meats.
Damn, go ahead.
But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
So you don't always want to depend on somebody. There's nothing wrong with asking for favors and righteousness, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But don't abuse it. Don't depend on it.
That's right.
Right? Now you building your life off of another man's house. And there's another precept to that in Sirach regarding stones. You're going to end up burying yourself. Huh? Okay. You got it.
Begging, verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in his belly there shall burn a fire.
Read that one more time, King.
The book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless.
And as Israelite men, you have to have shame as well. All right? Yeah, we usually bring it out the Eve. You got to be, you got to, have some shame. Yeah, you got to be shamefaced.
They got to be shamefaced too.
Yeah, a lot of you brothers, too, Not like on a woman's level, but in certain areas.
It's talking about moral uprightness.
Exactly.
Right? Have some standards, basically.
Integrity. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in the belly there shall burn a fire. Right?
Salakia, over there where I live at, people be kind of, they be kind of panhandling, right? And these people don't be needing it. These people make a living off panhandling, right? Edomites. They be having whole dogs, man. They be having dogs kind of still panhandling. Right? They be kind of writing it on a cardboard box. Help me out. I need help.
Wow.
Right? Then they kind of take off their homeless gear and go back home. Right? This stuff happen, man.
We seen it a lot, We know brothers that do panhandlers that get like, what, I think 5,000 a week?
Yeah, we're going to pull that up.
Almost 7?
We're going to have to pull that up.
You got to get that clip.
They get money.
See that? Don't be a panhandler, Israel. Again, there's nothing wrong, if you down a couple of bucks, as long as you turn in a favor. Yeah, don't be a niggard. All right? She's scoffing. I got one in the bank.
back to you with it though. I already brought it out.
Oh, that's why I brought it up. Yeah.
Oh, you bring it out already?
No, that's what I'm about to see. Yo, they link back up with that. You see that? So brothers heard his response was very humble, right? And in short, he was saying, these shoes keep me humble, understanding that, hey, bring up the verse, brother.
And real quick, that just shows the hypocrisy of Esau, because if Jake would have bought some $1,000 shoes, then they would have still been getting on him.
That's right.
So all the niggas do is buy jewelry and shoes, right? But the brother got on some humble pair of shoes, and she kind of scoffed at it.
Yeah.
It was like, damn if
tacky.
you do, damn if you don't. You can't please the so-called white man.
That's right.
And she scoffed saying $10 million chains. It wasn't $10 million.
Right.
No chains. Come on. You bring it out. It's like Sirach, what was that? 18
25.
and 25.
That's bad.
Esau scoffing.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 25. When thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger.
And we damn sure know that Mr. T got more than enough. But he still remembered the time when he was hungry by having on those shoes. Right? Go ahead.
When thou art rich, think upon poverty and need.
And that's what he's constantly doing every day when he looks down and puts on his shoes. He's meditating and remember the times that he was impoverished, that he didn't have too much, because that keeps you humble, right? Bring out one more, Sirach 11 and 4.
Yeah, that keeps you humble, man. Hey, you can catch the bus. You might got a whole car, but you can still catch the bus sometimes.
True. Yep.
That'll keep you humble through the spirit.
Yeah. I might do it too. You got it.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 4. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment.
See, he wasn't boasting in his clothing. Again, you can have change, you can have some jewelry, right? But again, it's going to, it's going to be made manifest if you boasting, right? It's going to be made known. The Lord is not going to have it be hidden forever. It's always going to be revealed somehow that you boasting in your clothing, right? But this man, Mr. T, he's not boasting in his clothing. He got on humble shoes. It's all tore up, got damn tape on it, got gum at the bottom. It stink probably,
And a lot of times, Jake don't have their priorities in check. They might have a 1,000 chains, fur coats, right? They they pushing the Benz, right? But they don't got a bed in the house, man. Right? Or they water off.
I'm in my auntie crib.
Right? Yeah, or they live with somebody else. So your priorities not in check. You just trying to do it for Instagram, man, and try to appear that you got money, but deep down you don't really got it like that.
I was just gonna make a point on what he said. That's in that old song "So Fly" with Birdman in them. He said, "Ain't paid my rent, but I'm still fly, man." Your rent ain't paid, but you fly. Or he's talking about I'm in the Benz, but I ain't. I got like a quarter tank of gas. See that?
So that's why I say in 2 Corinthians 13 and 5, you have to examine yourself. You have to do self-examinations. You have to realize, you have to investigate yourself, find out what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. In this case, seeing that the topic is money, you have to examine your budget. Right? You have to examine what's in your wallet. A lot of brothers, including myself as well, we got to start doing budgeting. If you haven't done it already, kind of get the damn tally marks, count up the checks, right? Kind of figure out where this is going and that's going and that's going.
Keep everything organized.
Everything done decently in order. Hey, and if you got, some bread to kind of do what you want to do, the Friday not yourself a good day. But don't be a nigga with it. Don't be a nigga with your money.
Yeah. So like your rent money is not play money.
That's right.
Right? You can't book a flight with your rent money. You're going to be jammed up, brother. Right?
Who even think like that, man?
Jake.
Did he bring it?
Jake thinks like this.
Yeah.
This is why Jake, we in poverty because of the curses, but a lot of brothers they make it worse, like the brother said. They have poor judgment when it come to money. All right.
Can you Google the word exacerbate?
I gotta spell that for me.
I think it's EXERBATE. His real name, Mr. T. All right, check out this word.
Screen too for the viewers.
EXAS.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there.
Bob, you got a quick precept?
Go back a little.
Bob.
Take out the P. There goes the first one.
Never heard that one before.
So this is what Israel do. You make worse the situation, right? You're already in captivity. You're already in slavery, right? You already got it as it is, pursuing a Haggai, right? And you make it worse. You inflame your situation. You aggravate it.
I got precept.
You being a jerk, you know.
Being a fool.
Yeah, you being a fool with your money, not only to yourself, but to also brothers as well. You know, because you remember you have to give alms. How you going to give alms if you're buying 5 PlayStation 5s? You're getting 3 TVs mounted in your room. You know, you're getting gold sneakers.
You got a TV in your bathroom.
You got a TV in your bathroom. You got a heated toilet.
You got a gold plate.
You're getting a whole lot of bullshit, man. You're getting a gold meat tree, a gold tooth with a menorah on it.
A lava
You got
lamp.
it.
Right? Haggai. Give me that Haggai, chapter 2, verse 11, I believe it. No. It's Haggai,
1 and 6.
yeah, 1 and 6.
The book of Haggai, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Right?
Ye have sown much and bring in little.
So, Jake, you work a lot, but you bring in little. Right? But, like the brother said, Jake, what's it called? What's the word? Exacerbate situations. Here it is, you bringing in little, but you still splurging that little that you do have. Keep reading.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Read on.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Right?
Ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Right? And it's statistics that prove that so-called black people, we spend over $1 trillion every year. In America alone. $1 trillion on what? Hennessy. Designer clothes.
Alizé.
Cars. Right? Food. Why you think they got these damn restaurants all over your neighborhood?
True.
They got KFC, Popeyes, McDonald's, Coney Island, all on the same strip.
It's like, because Eve don't be cooking for their husbands, man, in the world, man. See that?
It's takeout. Come
Right?
What you want from Captain J's?
Right. I got you
That
some
type of
Coney
spirit.
dogs.
Yeah, and that stuff, Salaki, that stuff add up, man. This is serious stuff. So even when it comes to buying food and stuff, you got to understand finances. That's why it's more profitable to just go to a grocery store,
Get that elk.
right? Yeah, man, get in the
Yeah.
kitchen and whip it up, you know what I'm saying, and do the thing.
Yeah, that's family time. You know, Israel, you can cook together too, right?
That's right.
There's no wrong with cooking together. That bring the intimacy out, you know. That's time together. Ain't no wrong with cooking with you know. So,
Nice movie.
yeah. Play some Marvin Gaye.
It ain't nothing like a
Luther
home cooked
Vandross.
meal.
That's right.
It's nothing like a home cooked meal. You know what you getting, and you know what you cooking. You seeing what's done with it. At least when you go to these different restaurants, you really don't know what they doing to the food.
Probably touching
spitting
themselves,
Right? They in the back, right?
sneezing on it.
Yeah,
Digging up deep.
yeah. They in the
done.
back, they hiding, right?
Salaki. And if Israel don't believe us, just watch the show. Watch that Chef Ramsay. Watch all those shows.
Yeah,
You have been exposed, you restaurant industry.
It's like I actually got a confession back when I was in the world. I used to work at Checkers. That was my first job. I was on the grill. And I dropped the patty. I kind of picked it up and put it back on the grill. I did that too.
Confess thy faults.
I did that too.
I kind of slapped that thing back on there, man.
You dropped it.
Somebody ate that burger.
He did the 5-second rule.
A few drops ago, you know, I was doing something similar, and you know, it was all for Esau, and you know, people was dropping shit, and even the manager said, "Put it back up, put it back on the damn burger."
Damn.
I said, "Oh, come on." He said, "Yeah, so what?" You know, it was another time I kind of dropped something. He kind of turned out the shoulder. I said, "You can't do that."
I got some more points too to make on this whole thing.
Salaki, it was a damn Popeyes in DC that was damn rat infested, man.
Yeah.
The brother kind of recorded the video. He
DC.
said, "Look, see, this the chicken y'all like." It was rats kind of running everywhere.
The chicken, y'all.
He said, "Y'all still love that chicken Popeyes?"
Yep, Popeyes here. It was a roaches at a Popeye on the east side. But yeah, I got some points to make as far as finances go as well. Because Jake, we go get Sirach 19 and 2. Like these things, Jake, they be going the hell off, man. And I remember being in the world. I was going to hell off. If I was to calculate, bring it out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 2.
Right?
Wine and women.
The Lord say,
wine and women.
think back when you was in the world, man, trying to get girls over and all that folly and madness. All the money you probably spent on weed, man. All the money you probably spent on gas. All that folly and madness. And Jake, in his truth, still probably spend too much money on wine and women. I read that from the top.
Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away.
Right.
And he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
You see that? So you can't cleave unto harlots, man. That's how you spending all your dough, man. Right, get us Proverbs 6 and 25. Right, it's another thing, people got to balance that money, man. Don't be dealing with the wine and not all hell breaking loose, man.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 25. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart.
Right.
Neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
Right, right.
By means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
You see that? So a man is brought to a piece of bread dealing with a whorish woman, man. Right? She can take all. That happen to these celebrities all the time. These Eves, they kind of lay up with them, and then they get married, and then they take half their money, man.
That's right.
And they wasn't with them shooting in the gym, man. Bring it out.
And the adulteresses will hunt for the precious life.
You see that? And those the kind of women that do it, man. You got mothers that raise up their women specifically to hunt down these athletes or these musicians, man.
Yeah. They say you gotta break them. Right. That's what they say. They say break an N-word.
Right. So you gotta kind of be careful with your finances in this thing, man.
It's lucky these women nowadays, they harlots, man. Right? They got their CashApp in their bio. What can you do for me? Madness. Right?
Exactly. They got the song, What Have You Done For Me Lately?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Then you got this whole City Girls, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion spirit going on.
They all got men.
And they all got men and they married. While you single, right? You being a hoe, like the brother said. There you go, brother.
That's right. You bring out Sirach 26 and 29.
Everything is Sirach, boy.
Yeah.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 29. A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
And a lot of these women are hucksters. You trying to Google that, Baba Kishore? They're hucksters. And they're merchants on the left-hand side. And where did they learn that from ultimately?
Esau.
Babylon the Great. When you read in Revelation 18, she's that whore that's dealing with all the merchants on earth. She taught them how to be a merchant, how to do X, Y, and Z, how to import and export. All right? The definition of huckster, a person who sells small items either door to door or from a stall or a small store. Right? And they do that on the left-hand side. They sell their body. A borrow boy. Yeah. A purveyor. Don't be a trader on the left-hand side. There's a thin line between righteous business and wicked business. One moment you selling brownies, and the next moment you selling weed brownies.
Then you selling crack.
Yeah, then the crack, and then methamphetamines, and then your body, like the brother said. You see how
it's like it in your soul.
See that? Yep. Now you're all over the place. Notice about 42 and 5 came.
Come from that love of that money. That's why you gotta trust in the Lord. And you need them 4 things like we read, man. Like bread, water, a place to stay, and clothes, man. Jake be losing his mind for the folly.
Yep.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 5.
Start at verse
3.
Yeah.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 3. Of reckoning with thy partners and travelers, or of the gift of the heritage of friends, of exactness of balance.
Slacky King, start at verse 1. Let's get the context.
Okay.
What is this talking about?
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby.
Right.
Of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and of judgment to justify the ungodly. Of reckoning with thy partners and travelers, or of the gift of the heritage of friends. Of exactness of balance and weights, or of getting much or little.
Right.
And of merchants indifferent selling of much correction of children, and to make the sight of an evil servant to bleed.
Right, so it's a lot of things that you have to be careful of. Right, you have to be careful of buying and selling. You have to be careful of moving merchandise. Right? It all goes back to the topic of finances, because you can have finances and you can use your money to create a business. But even in having a business, it has to be run properly and in order. Right? Our forefathers in the ancient world, they had businesses. And they had employees. They had servants. Right? And it was all done in righteousness. And you have to be very careful and mindful on how you conduct your business. Have it all be done in writing. That's what it says a few verses down. You got it.
Real quick, Sirach chapter 27, verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. Right? So when you buying and selling, like the brother bringing out, moving merchandise, you got all these products going to and fro, sin sticks close to that. Amazon is in sin. You know why? They still work on this Shabbat. They delivering packages. Right? All these major businesses are in sin because they selling Christmas items. Right? They selling these different merchandises that the Lord calls abominable. So sin sticks close between buying and selling.
Hey, oh, you got it.
I just got a point to make on what he's saying. It's like, if you have a business in Israel, you kind of got to make sure you shut it down on the Shabbat, man. Yeah. Stuff like that. You know, that's what it's going. Like, it sticks real close because you're making that money, and, you know, that money, man, hell can break loose, man. Somebody say, I'll give you $20,000 if you just let me buy it on the Sabbath for scratching. You saw my
hell no. Keep your money. You got to tell Jake, keep your money. Right? I don't, look, it's dirty money. It's blood money. All right?
Go to one more Proverbs 20 and 14.
Like they say in the world, all money is not good money.
That's right.
Yeah, more money, more problems.
More money, more problems.
Right?
You got it. Okay, I got one more Proverbs 20 and 14.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 14.
Right, because this is, right, we're talking about for businesses. When you're doing business with people, this is on the other side of the fence. Go ahead.
It is not, saith the buyer. Yep. But when he is gone his way, then he boasteth.
Right, in other words, you're going to have certain customers, certain clients, right? And they may want to purchase things of you. Your merchandise, your gold, your fringes, your shirts, whatever. And you might run across a few jakes that might say, it's not really like the other store. They're kind of downgrading and devaluing your merchandise. So now the person you're doing business with is, all right, fine, I give you this much then. You know, you letting him talk you down. It shouldn't be like that. That's your business, you know? Don't let that buyer say, I kind of got this at home. Isn't this a little out of date? And it's not too much. So it is not said the buyer, but when he has gone his way, then he boasted. Because once he completed his wickedness, done a transaction, gave him the money, now he got the product, now he's saying, yeah, I got that nigga. Got him.
I got down.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's oppressing your brother. Now he can't feed his family, you know? So you got to move in this thing in wisdom, even when you purchasing things. Don't be wicked and kind of say, you know, hey, that's what Esau do. When you have your car and you take it to sell it, sometimes they kind of look at the ding. They look for every damn scratch, buffer, everything, and he kind of just,
mechanic.
And then you start saying, oh, well, yeah, I did notice that. Okay, maybe I'll bring it down a little bit. Yep. That's what Esau does. That's his tactics. They kind of just examine. They looking at the parts of the car that you know that's jammed up.
Dealing deceitfully.
That's deceitful. So you have to move in wisdom even when you're buying things.
Yep.
You know?
Precept Leviticus 25 and 17. And a lot of mechanics do that as well. Yeah. They'll literally get under your car and break something on purpose so you can pay more money. Facts. Right? A lot of home improvement people do that. Yeah. They'll destroy your roof and say, look, you got to get this fixed or all hell going to break loose. It's going to flood. But I need the money today. $5,000, no exceptions. I knew a man that did that. Right, he would take advantage of elderly people and destroy their roof for financial gain.
Hey, I worked with brothers like that. When I was doing the damn maintenance dude and other jobs, we worked with Jake and they'd mess it up. And then we had to go back to the job because he called us back and said, it's not working. And he said, oh yeah? He nodded his head. He smiled. He smirking. Oh, yeah? All right, I'll fix that for you. It'll just be this much money. He started smiling and sweating and rubbing his fingers.
Yep.
You know, that's wicked. And it's times where me and my grandfather, we have to work on things where Jake nigger rigged it. If you don't know what that means you just duct tape it together. You do the bare minimum, right? So it's not going to last.
Nope.
So then we have to fix it, and we see the problems. We start quitting. What the hell did they do?
And that's the kind of stuff that's serious because we dealing with people's homes. Anything could happen. Your whole damn house could fall apart. And that's a safety hazard as well.
Yeah.
If you don't do that roof right, look, you can kill somebody, man. That'll be blood on your hands. Right? And people understand that and they know that. They say, damn, so I got to get it fixed. Right? And that's when you get to taking advantage of people, which is wicked, man. You kind of make them feel bad. Look, if you don't pay this, the roof can collapse. And you know, elderly people, you know, they get scared, man. They get timid. They get fearful. Right? So I knew a brother that kind of finessed the elders, man.
Damn. That's hate.
Give me
But real quick point. I was working for, I think, the Amalek and Issachar, right? They owned all these homes. And they said, put in this refrigerator or put in this oven. I said, well, look, I'm not, too savvy on that yet. He said, just try it. Just YouTube it. I said, what? You want me to YouTube that? Even it, yeah, I could get jammed up. They can say, that's what happened. That's why I had to get out of there. I said, look, I'm not doing that. He said, all right, fine, I'll do it then. I said, I'll watch you do it. He said, okay. But then nonetheless, I still got out of there because it was a janky place, man. And you had Jake living in there. So if the damn oven blew up?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, you gotta know what you're doing. Yeah. So give me Leviticus 25 and 17.
The book of Leviticus,
And
chapter
this
20.
all goes into finances. Also, you don't want to deal deceitfully when you're dealing with people money and when you're dealing with business. All right, Leviticus 25 and 17.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 17.
You can't be a greedy pig. Break it out, Doc.
Ye shall not therefore oppress one another,
Ye shall not therefore oppress one another. Read on.
but thou shalt fear thy God, for he is Yahweh.
Right, to oppress means to keep low. So you don't want to keep your brother low, that crab in the bucket spirit. Right, that trying to finesse and get over on somebody. And that's hatred. Right, the Lord can plague your business and thrust you through. Next thing you know, you jammed up in the hospital somewhere. And all that money that you finessed from the elders and from unlearned people, now you got to spend all that money on medical fees, and you can't even enjoy that money that you finessed. So this stuff is serious, man. Don't be that Jake. Bring it out.
Don't be a LeBron in this thing. Getting over.
And the ball.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches. Right? So that's what Jake do all the time. They out there selling drugs to their people. You oppressing your own people to make yourself rich. And next thing you know, you destroying your community. A lot of drug dealers back in the 80s will tell you now, yeah, we destroyed the community. We sold drugs, we got money, but we didn't realize the devastation we was doing into now.
Idolaters.
And then they say, Salakia, then they say, he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. So that's what Jake do. They oppress the poor, get money, then go spend it at Gucci and Versace with the so-called white man. So you oppressing your people to get money just to spend it with Esau.
Cool.
You're doing the bidding of the spiritual demon Satan.
I guess that's Iraq 11 and 18. Right?
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse 18.
Right?
There is that waxeth rich by his wariness and pinching, and this is the portion of his reward.
Right? Look up wariness. Right? So somebody that waxed rich by his worry is a worry.
No, it's W-A-R-I-N-E-S.
Right? Should be SS. Right there it is, the state of being cautious. Or go back. Like it's like it. click 2 S's and then click definition. Where it says caution about possible dangers or problems or trust or suspicion. Now, you waxing rich by your weariness, that's going into like you gambling and things like that. You basically not trusting in the Lord, man. Or you doing something like making haste and selling drugs. Because you don't trust that the Lord can turn a poor man rich. So you just kind of say, to hell with that. I'm going to get some fast money, do what I got to do. It's going to tell you his reward. Right, keep reading that.
Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods.
Right, so he became rich off of drugs or gambling, just some kind of get money quick scheme, right? Because he didn't trust in the Lord. He had suspicion that he wouldn't go get money, right? Read.
Yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die.
Right, that's his reward, man. He gonna get put to death, man. And that's always happening to these drug dealers, these people that win the damn lottery for mega millions. They lose it in 5 months, and all hell break loose. Because you didn't work for it, so you didn't earn it. So it's like, you don't care, you know what I'm saying? You didn't actually build to it. If you just hit the $10 million, you ain't gonna know what to do. You didn't build up on that, right? So it came too easy.
Apple.
Yeah. These drug dealers, rappers. Yeah, I got a precept. Proverbs 28 and 20.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings.
A faithful man shall abound with blessing, meaning a man that trusts in the Lord, abides in his labor, lives a legitimate lifestyle. Read on.
But he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent.
But if you make haste to be rich, right, you going to the casino, you're gambling, right, you're selling money, so it's like you're selling drugs to get quick money, quick cash, you're not going to be innocent, right? Yeah, you scamming. Send me your credit card. Who you bank with, right?
300 to 3,000.
Right. And if you falling for that, man, you just a damn fool. Straight up and down, man.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Even in the world, I know. Come on, how you gonna turn? That's folly, man. Scammers. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Just send me your. All I need is your social and your credit card number. Next thing you know, your account is negative 10,000.
Yeah. You in damn debt.
That's that dark web stuff, man.
I got one more precept, King. I got you, cause let me get what's that one? He shall dress it, but another man shall pull it on.
That's that covetous spirit. I got a quick precept.
All right, bring out your precept, cause that's why I find this.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 4.
Right.
Delight thyself also in Yahweh,
Right. Delight yourself in the Lord, read.
and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
He shall what?
Give you the desires of thine heart.
Right, if you delight in Yahweh, he gonna give you what you need in this thing. Right, read on.
Commit thy way unto Yahweh.
Right.
Trust also in him,
Read.
and he shall bring it to pass.
And he shall bring it to pass if you trust in the Lord, man. And again, we read it. I'm going to keep going back to it. The 4 chief things in life is bread, drink, shelter, and clothes. Right? That's really all you need. Get Proverbs 30 and 7.
I got one out to you.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 7.
Right?
2 things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die.
Right?
Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches.
And he said, give me neither poverty nor riches. Right?
Feed me with food convenient for me,
Right. What's ever convenient for me. Right?
lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal.
You see that? So you don't want to be poor, so you go stealing, and then you don't want to be rich. So now you feel like you are a damn God. So you want things convenient and content for you, and the Lord will give you what's necessary for you. He know what your spirit can handle. He's your Father. He created you. All right?
Job chapter 27, verse 16. That's right, brother.
It's the book of Job, chapter 27 and verse 16.
Right?
Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay.
That's the so-called white man. He heap up dust, he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay. That's also Jake. right? Floyd Mayweather. Look up Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah, you gotta look it up again, man. Floyd Money May. Money Mayweather.
That's off.
Look. Just click on one picture. Just
Click that first.
click that first pic. All right.
That picture is crazy. Look like he's so depleted, man.
Look at this man. He looked like he made a covenant with money.
This guy, man.
Money is his guy.
He made a covenant with the so-called white man, paper. This man worshiped paper.
Of Edomites on it.
Trying to pull it.
This man worships paper,
Look at this guy.
and paper come from trees, man. So he worshiping trees,
That's mad.
you know. But so this man heaps up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay. Verse 17. He may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. So really that's going into the so-called white man. He might got riches and wealth, but guess what? He might got bunkers. He may prepare these things, but it's going to be used for us in the time of Jacob's trouble.
Bring up Proverbs 13 and 11.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase.
That's right. So if you spending your entire paycheck on lottery tickets, scratch-offs,
Oh, man.
hey, not only are you losing your money, you're a fool as well, because now you're addicted to it. One more scratch-off. One more scratch-off.
Play my birthday.
Yeah, play my birthday.
It was close.
Yeah, my birthday ran the other day, and I think your license plate ran. They got all their codes and their lingo, you know. My grandparents, they heavy on that. Me and my brother, we did the math on how much money they spent throughout the years. I think it added up to like 50 stacks. Something like that. Because they play it every day.
Damn.
That's a lot of money.
I don't
Added up.
understand those lines.
And sometimes they'll play more than one.
Ain't win a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. You know, you play all those, you might spend $5, $6. You see that? And he falling for it. Read that one more time, King.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished.
That's wealth gotten by vanity. Right? Again, we're going to keep saying that the Lord likes a laborer, man. Now, you know. That's all I see.
Yeah, the precept. It's Iraq 16 and 23. All this Iraq and Proverbs, it's that wisdom, man. We talking about the finances, man. Bring it up.
The book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 23.
Right?
He that wanteth understanding
Meaning you're lacking understanding. Right?
will think upon vain things.
Well, what?
Think upon vain things.
Like we was going into earlier, down, you check $400 and you go spend $300 on a book. Right? That's thinking upon a vain thing. What are you doing, brother? Bring it up.
And a foolish man erring, imagining folly.
Right, you imagining follies. You imagining how you were looking at Gucci belt with the shoes, but you then working at McDonald's, man. Right, you got to be realistic, man. You got to be a realist in this thing.
That's right.
Right? So if you want that, you got to kind of do what you got to do to get to a level where you deserve, or not deserve, where you can afford that. You don't want to be a fool, though, man. You got to be wise with your finances. Right? Like I said, it's something Israel don't really touch on, but hey, man, brothers need the finances, man. You can't love money. Like, give me that in 1 Timothy 6 and 20.
Yeah, you should only spend a certain percentage, right, of what you make, right? At least 20% of what you make, man. Right? You don't want to spend 100% or 75% of what you make. You're not going to have nothing left over for yourself.
You know.
Yeah. Spend 80 out of that 400. See, 20% of, say you gross $400 weekly. You spend 20% of that, that's only $80, man.
And that's free money.
That's
Everything
free
else
money.
should be bills.
Everything else bills, that $80 is free money. And if you need some clothes, hit up the thrift store. Go crazy. Hit up Foreman Mills. You can get some nice pair of pants for $20. right?
For some sweats, man.
Take your woman out with $80.
You can do that, man.
And that's 20% of what you make, man.
Right, bring it up.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10.
Right.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right, so you can't love money, but it is a defense. It is something necessary to live in this society. We don't know how long we're going to be here. Lord willing, we out here next week. But you got to, do what you got to do to set yourself up so you can be sustained, man. All right, get on the book. Slocky. Bro's got a precept. Slocky. I want to find this one. Oh, yeah, it's Sirach real fast. I want Sirach 22, or 21 and 8.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathers himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
You see that? So if you build on somebody else's house, the Lord said you basically you basically setting yourself up to die, man. Because the Lord is not dealing with that kind of man. All right, Sirach 21 and 8. The Lord not dealing with that kind of man.
I got something real quick.
So we can't be like that in this thing, man. Like we brought out earlier. That's Sirach 21 and verse 8.
That's mighty.
All right, bring it out.
So this is the importance of knowing ratios. Ratios are an important assessment tool that owners and business leaders can use to quickly assess organizational performance. The information revealed through these ratios and the ability to assess charges in these ratios over time provide the opportunity to make needed changes to enhance company vitality. Right? So pretty much you got to know ratios in this thing, man.
You got to do budgeting.
You got to know about budgeting, financial literacy, right? It's a lot of YouTube videos that you can watch that pertains to those matters. Or you can hit up certain brothers that's good with money. Hit up the treasurers. They're not the treasurers just, that's just a name. That's just a title they got. No, these men are good with money, right? So you got to hit up business-oriented men, There's certain brothers' families, they got businesses and things that you can hit up brothers, family.
That's right.
Hit up business owners, right? They're not just business owners because they're just I'm a business owner. That's it. No, these men have wit when it come to these matters, right? So you got to seek out these men if you want to know how to do better with your money.
Got a quick point. I was going to say, at least once a week I try to do some budgeting, man. Kind of figure out, you got to, the same way you self-examine yourself, you do self-examination, you got to self-examine, where your money's going. If you're not paying attention where your money going, you might as well not have any money. You might as well just cut a hole in your damn wallet. You got to remember and kind of look back, okay, this going to this, okay, this going to that. You got to have your calendar out. You got to have a pencil and a paper. You got to actually do that for real.
Even if you got to
I'm myself doing that.
So even if you got to take out physical money, man, right? Because if you got on the credit card, you get the swiper sometimes. Next thing you know, you broke, right? So I know I like to take out physical cash that I can see, man, right, and kind of do my thing that way, right? So whatever is profitable for you.
So like invest in having a savings account too, because that's also very beneficial.
Right.
Definitely budget with a savings. To estimate this X amount of money out your checkings and put the rest in your savings.
Got a point too. You should probably take 10% of all your earnings and just keep it in savings and use that to invest. That's one of the books from an Edom. I forgot what it's called. That one of them little self-help books that they got out there. That's one of the tips they got on there. But against Sirach 5 and 15.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 15.
Right.
Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
Right. So the scriptures ain't all about having Esau bow down, man, and shaking the hand.
It's life.
Right. Hey, it's literally life, man. This is literally the instructions to your life right here. So the precepts, tell you how to handle your finances, and we going through it, man. So you can't be ignorant of these things. You got to know, like the brother said, financial literacy and different ways to budget and take care. That you got to have your household fully in order, man. Everything got to be in order, including the finances.
You got to keep your priorities in check as well. And you got to have self-control too. Because you might want to, go to that fancy restaurant and spend all that money on that good food. But that might get take away from a bill.
That's right.
So you got to learn self-control as well, man. Give me Deuteronomy 26 and 12. Because we gave a 10th part of to what? The priests, the Levites. Right, so we always dealt with money, even in the ancient world. We always dealt with ratios and percentages. A tenth part of is 10%. Right, get Deuteronomy 26 and 12.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26 and verse 12. When thou hast made an end of tithing, all the tithes of thine increase the third year, which is the year of tithing, it has given it unto the Levite.
Given it to the what?
The Levite.
Has given it unto the Levites. Read on.
The stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within thy gates.
That they may eat within thy gates. So you got to take care of the stranger, the fatherless, the widows, the Levites. Right? Because the Levites didn't possess an inheritance within the land of Israel. They lived on the outskirts.
That's right.
So the Most High had to make sure that we wasn't negligent of the Levites. Because we didn't see them every day. They was always on the outskirts. And it's easy to forget about them. So the Lord set up the tithing system for that. Right? Keep reading.
And be filled.
And be filled. Right? So again, we gave the Levites, the priests, a tenth part of. Give me that in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Right? Because the first account of tidings was through Melchizedek.
Yeah, Abraham offered him the Khan.
All right, bring it out.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 14 and verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest of the Most High God.
So he was the priest of the Most High God. Read on.
And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth.
Now give me Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 5.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 5. And verily, they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law.
Right, and tithe literally means a tenth part of. That's 10%. Keep reading.
That is of their brethren, though they come out of the loins of Abraham. But he whose descent is not counted from them receive tithes of Abraham.
Right, so the point I'm making is you got to know a little math in this thing, man. You don't want to be totally ignorant. We're not saying you got to know trigonometry, what else? Geometry.
Right,
Calculus. We're not saying that, but you should know about ratios. You should know about adding and subtracting and multiplying. Those are things that you need, man. It's important to know about the percentages, right?
Precept. You got a point? I had a precept. Yeah, Genesis 24. Right, he touching on the our forefathers. Get Genesis 24 and 34.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 24 and verse 34.
Right.
And he said, I am Abraham's servant,
Right.
and the Lord hath blessed my master greatly, and he is become great, and he hath given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants and camels and asses.
Right, so our forefathers wasn't just a bunch of, lowly men. Abraham was a rich man. He had silver, gold, cattle. He had all these things. Abraham was a rich, powerful man. Right, read.
And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old.
Right, that's Isaac, right?
And unto him have he given all that he had.
Right, you see that? So he passed that wealth down to his son. And then Isaac did his thing with it on to Jacob. Right, so we go, get this. Get Genesis 30. So I can get Genesis 30.
And the scripture said, a good man giveth an inheritance unto his children.
God, you
That's
see
what a
that,
good man
right?
going to do, man.
That's right.
But if you a selfish, evil niggard, you're not going to give nothing to your children. Right?
Get Genesis 30 and 39.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 30,
You
verse
said,
30.
man, that's some niggard stuff, man. You got to you want to be able to pass something down to your children, man. Right?
Salaki, even if you not set up a Lammy bank for your daughter, man. Right? Kind of put some coins up in there.
Trust
Right? Put a little trust fund at a young age, man. Put a couple dollars in there. All for your daughter.
Right.
Next thing you know, when she get of age, ain't no telling how much money going to be in there. It might be thousands of dollars. And that's all for her.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. So go,
Don't be selfish.
30 and 39.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 30, and verse 39.
All right.
And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs,
Right.
and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock of Laban,
Right, so he took the lesser and gave it to Laban. All right, right?
and he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle.
Right, read.
And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods.
Right, so he took the stronger cattle. He basically was breeding these cattle to get the stronger of the cattle. Right, read.
But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's.
Jacob means supplanter, man. So he kind of did his thing. Right, read on.
And the man increased exceedingly,
And he increased exceedingly, read.
and had much cattle, and maidservants, and men servants, and camels, and asses.
Right, you see that? So he took his father, because, Isaac passed it down to Jacob. Then Jacob had to wait for Laban for his wives. And then he took that and just increased it even more, man. And that's how it go, right? So you pass it down to your children, you teach them good financial literacy, and now they can grow in this thing. And that's how our forefathers was working. So that's in the Bible, man. That so-called generational wealth, man.
God.
Right.
Quick precept, Deuteronomy 25:4. Going into not muzzling the ox.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, and verse 4.
Hey, Yariel, type in the muzzled ox. Right.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
So it say, thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn, meaning we're going to look up the muzzle, what a muzzle is. So it basically going into controlling the eating of the ox. Right? Yeah. You see that? So you can't do that to your ox, man. First of all, that's animal damn cruelty, and that's madness. Right? When he treadeth out the corn, that's him eating of the corn, man. And you don't want to muzzle him and control his eating. Right? Yeah. See, look at that, man.
Look at Jake, man. Folly. No folly.
Yeah. That's it on that.
That's 6 more 7. Come, bring out the book of Sirach. Who's it going to get?
Sirach 11.
Sirach chapter. Dang, it just slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's off.
Yeah, so you can't be crafty, man. Right? You can't be a crafty man. You're taking away the food of your animal for finances, financial wealth, right? Don't eat all the corn, right? I got to make some money out of this. Now the damn ox going through it. The ox starving because you got to make some money. That's off. So that's what the Lord is saying when the scriptures say, thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth the corn. Meaning don't control his eating, right? And in the ancient world, they may have done that to, I got to sell this corn. The ox can't eat all the corn because I got to kind of sell this corn. I got to sell this. I got to sell that. Now the ox starving because you greedy, man.
Damn opportunists.
You're an opportunist.
That's wicked, man.
Bring out
Jake dog fight, man.
Oh, that's wicked.
So Jake kind of take advantage of the animals for money. Yeah, Michael Vick, man. He got caught with them dogs.
Yeah, his cousins.
Wasn't he, electrocuting the dog, something like that? He was doing something. He was like, "Rrr." That's a dog.
Yeah, bring out Proverbs 12 and 10,
He was
King.
guilty by association.
Proverbs 12 and verse 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel toward the beast. Hey, but our forefathers, they love their beasts, man. They wasn't messing with them. They wasn't molesting them. They wasn't tickling them. They allowed them to eat. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 18.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 18. For the scripture saith, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn.
Right, we already brought it out. Right, so you got to treat your animals kind. Go ahead.
And the laborer is worthy of his reward.
And believe it or not, this goes back to finances too, because if you have a business and you have animals helping your business out, you got to treat them with some type of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just be a nigga
Can't abuse
in it. Yeah, you abusing them. You tickling them all day. you injecting them with toxins so they'll work faster.
Yep.
Esau do that with cows. Now the cow all buff. Look like you'll beat your ass.
Yeah.
Mm,
That word
precept to you.
in muzzle, real quick, it say the projecting part of the face, including the nose and mouth of an animal such as a dog or horse. Right? So you basically enclose their mouth and their face. Right?
That's so off, man. Like, wow.
So they won't tread of the corn.
First Timothy.
I got
So
a
you,
precept.
go, you got it, brother.
In Matthew 6 and 26. Right, because the Most High, hey, he feed the animals. He put that corn there so your ox could eat. But you go muzzle them.
That's wicked.
That's off,
do
man.
that
The corn don't grow more.
They gonna do that. They do that for money. I don't want this ox eating all the corn because I gotta sell this corn
Bring it
at
out,
the
man.
marketplaces.
Bring it out,
The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 26.
Right,
Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not,
right.
neither do they reap, nor gather into barns.
Right, they don't, I mean, obviously the birds, you never seen a pigeon kind of, planting, corn in the ground, man. Right?
Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them.
And so the Most High feeds them, man. So who are you to muzzle an ox's mouth, man, when the Lord feeds them, right?
Are ye not much better than they?
Right, so you can't be, doing that to the animals when the Lord feeds them for your filthy gain. This all ties into finances because you're supposed to be trusting in the Lord, man.
That's torture.
And the Lord do you over, man. Make you a poor man for going off like that.
Yeah, real quick. How would you like if somebody kind of tied up your face so you don't eat? You would be going through it. They just tie. When it's dinner time, you only eat a little bit, then they tie up your mouth. That's it. That's all you get. I'm gonna sell the rest of this plate to somebody else.
Right, two bites, and then they put the muzzle on you. Esau
Yeah.
Yeah, Esau did put muzzles on us. They're enslaved.
Oh, I get a closing precept.
Gotcha.
I got one. Get Sirach 10 and 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 23.
Right?
It is not meet to despise the
Slacky
poor.
22. Slacky.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 22.
Right?
Whether he be rich, noble, or poor,
Right?
their glory is the fear of Yahweh.
And that's plain upon tables. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. No matter if he's a poor man, he's a rich man, he's a so-called noble man on this earth. The glory comes in fearing the Lord. Because again, we read the Lord can turn a poor man rich, man. And the only thing you need is those four chief things: bread, water, clothing, and a house, man. And if the Lord sees fit to give you more, then he'll give you more. Simple.
Precept. Sirach 26 and 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, and verse 4. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance.
See that? So whether you be rich or poor, if you trust in the Lord, you always going to rejoice with a good countenance. You always going to be in good spirits. You could be down on your last, no money in your pocket, but if you trust in the Most High, that's not going to overthrow you and overcome you. Right? So you always got to have a good heart toward the Lord. That's going to keep you cheerful. Because Jake stress about finances. Jake stress about trying to find a job.
Right.
That's right.
You know.
We dead presidents.
So yeah, man. That's that.
You bring out Sirach 11 and 11. It's like it's Sirach 11 and 14.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
It all comes from the Lord at the end of the day.
God.
Right? That's why it goes back to Philippians 4 and 11. You got to be content in whatever state you're in. Right? And I'm not saying, don't get a job or, just keep working. You got to be content with what you have at the moment, with what the Lord blessed you with. You're not going to get that 6-figure job. All right? It's just not going to happen. You got to be content with what you have.
That's right.
And work off that and build off that.
That's right. Humility.
You understand? Maybe the Lord don't want you to be super rich at this moment. Maybe the Lord don't want you to have all of this at the moment.
That's right.
And if you were rich at a certain point in time, and maybe the Lord wants to humble you. You got to deal with it. And whatever state you're in, you have to be content and still serve the Lord no matter what. But with that,